Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, New Powerpuff Girls, Star vs. the Force of Evil, and Ruby. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And Michelle Anderer.
Yeah.
Today, Sam, Michelle, and I will be discussing the November 17th episode, Thanksgiving special, I guess, of Steven Universe.
Gem. It definitely was a Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, definitely the intent. Gem Harvest. We discuss Steven Universe every week here on the Overly Made podcast. New episode or not, but this week there's a new episode, and we're going to take you through it. This is your place to check out all of the Steven Universe podcasting content you want. So make sure to check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or your other favorite podcatcher. Coming up in a few days or tomorrow, or who knows, it will be our feedback show, probably hosted by Justin. So get your long form feedback into him at justin@overlyanimated.com, or you can email, or you can send Tumblr asks to him. He's friendlygeeks3.tumblr.com, or just comment on this post on overlyanimated.com, and we will see your feedback. So more Gem Harvest content coming up later in the week, podcasts on Ruby and the Star vs. Force of Evil mid-season finale. Lots of exciting stuff in animation right now, but let's get right into Gem Harvest, our first Steven Universe episode in quite a while. This half an hour special. Sam, initial impressions of Gem Harvest.
Okay, all right, before we get into that, here's the thing, man. So I was watching it, and before the episode came on, credits for like the Amazing World of Gumball. They had the Summer of Steven is Over promo, right? Bro, It's November.
Yeah, I know, they didn't change it.
Yeah, they didn't make a new promo. Okay,
so
anyway,
old.
yeah.
It's been a couple months.
I agree, they can make a new promo. Anyway, yes.
Impressions
of the episode.
All right, impressions of the episode. I definitely didn't expect it to be as relatively fluffy as it was.
Yeah.
With the name like Gem Harvest, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna find like some gems just hiding under Earth's crust, and we're gonna harvest them, and it's gonna be like a diamond thing. But no, it's just Uncle Andy.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked Uncle Andy. I think he's cool. It was nice. I don't know if it needed to be a half hour, but I liked it. Okay. I like the vegetables. I like pumpkin. I don't like pumpkins in real life, but I like their pumpkin dog. Yeah. Overall, love and family is cool, and you make the family that you want. Family isn't always blood, but I guess sometimes it is in this case. Uncle Andy. Wow. Hashtag.
That was pretty deep, Sam. Hashtag.
Yeah, that was actually pretty deep.
Okay, Michelle, impressions of Gem Harvest.
I liked it. I was also confused why it was half an hour. I assumed that was something this show saved for very special plotty reasons.
Yeah, that's
apparently
what I
not.
Too.
This episode defied that expectation completely. So that's interesting.
Yeah, everyone during the month's break before this were like, okay, we're not seeing everything.
The
what's coming in the second half?
The first half is chill, but the second half's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be a cliffhanger. But it really wasn't at all. I thought it was nice. I thought there were a lot of really funny moments. And is this the legit first holiday episode we've had in the show so far?
I mean, they had maximum capacity was technically a New Year's episode.
That's true. So this is the second.
Also, Steven's birthday. I guess that's a holiday.
Yeah.
That's
birthdays are holidays.
Steven's birthday.
Man.
I enjoyed it though. I thought it was very nice. I think Sam's right. It's fluffy, but that's not bad as long as you adjust your expectations.
Yeah. Certainly we don't need plot in the show to have a good episode. Yeah, this episode's a lot for me right now.
Are you serious? Why?
Yeah, it's the timing. I mean, warning, we're gonna have to get into some political stuff here, but
oh my god, I felt that too. Actually, watching this,
obviously, this isn't intentional timing. This episode's probably written 2 years ago, and this is our Steven Universe episode featuring illegal aliens, immigrants, and said by, and Uncle Andy being, so all of that kind of hit a little hard at the moment. We'll get into that, but overall I think this was nice. Nothing stood out to me too much in terms of like what was really, really good about it. It was just overall some nice character moments all around, and I appreciated that. I liked getting everyone back together. Solid Lapis Peridot episode. The lesbian farmers meme.
Yeah.
It's
lesbian farmers gonna come invade your town.
They've came. Yeah, they're here. Everyone likes the pumpkin dog. We saw that like a few months ago. We've been sitting on that one. It's the ending scene with Uncle Andy was he's very gorgeously animated, and I thought it was nice, I guess. I don't know. I'm not big on Uncle Andy. I mean, it's hard to be at the moment yeah, I don't know. What else we got? The Stephen Greg DeMeo. That's, I think, the big Greg mythology.
I don't believe that's their last name. That's so awful to me.
Why is that so awful?
I hate Mayo. I hate Manny so much. If his last name was really DeMeo, it's just like, really? Like, I have to know that for the rest of my life.
I'm sort of disappointed that Universe wasn't Greg's.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Changed it. That's such a Sam observation that it came from Michelle. That was funny.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I would have said that, but actually, I'm a Mayo convert. I have grown to enjoy mayonnaise.
Oh my god, no!
Yeah, mayonnaise.
But
anyway,
just not on, like, not on my sandwiches. I like Miracle Whip on my sandwiches.
That's a big mythology expansion right here. The DeMeo.
The DeMeo. Yeah, it is. And Greg didn't actually marry Rose for real, so that was something I wondered about.
That was like a given.
I mean, that was that was a throwaway line.
It makes the most sense, but we never had confirmation for sure.
It's fine. I mean, where even would they get married in Beach City? There's nowhere to go. Nope. So, yeah, I think Uncle Greg. I think this episode would have played better in the middle of a bunch of plot stuff. As is, we've kind of seen Uncle Andy type characters recently, like in Future Boys Ultron. I feel like the random old guy that comes. I don't know. It just in the middle of a lot of like not plotty episodes. I don't know if this hit as well for me, but certainly good themes in here and good character building. So, overall good. Let's get into to Gem Harvest. I don't.
This outline sucks, by the way.
I mean, there's nothing to outline, so I was just writing down words to remind me of like things.
Yeah, there's a lot of words here.
Yeah. So there's a lot of words. What's the highlight? What's our top story? What do we think of Uncle Andy? I was just talking about him. Michelle, what are your impressions on him?
I mean, honestly, I don't hate Uncle Andy because I have like multiple Uncle Andys in my life, and I feel like that gives me a little more like perspective on trying to see where they're coming from. I mean, Uncle Andy's not like all bad, he's like, and towards the end, like he kind of admits like, like he kept himself out of the loop on the rest of his family, and he could have made more of an effort, and I think he regrets like being alone as much as he is, and so he's not like irredeemable. He's not like oh god, I can't remember. He's not like Marty, right? Like Andy can still be redeemed. I don't think he's like all bad. He just like really doesn't like change, and he's like kind of like not open to hippies, but I don't think he's like painted super bad, and I think we're supposed to be able to, have a little understanding for Andy.
Certainly, certainly the show paints him sympathetically in the second half, and I mean, this is not the type of show where we get a character and they're just bad. Like, I guess Marty's like one
except for Marty, yeah.
And even him, I don't know. I don't hate Marty. I mean, maybe that's a hot take, but this is the type of show where we see this character and we see this type of character and they're painted sympathetically. Sam, I think you said before you like Uncle Andy.
Well, okay, so I mean, yeah, the episode was pretty much just propelled by Uncle Andy, so possible. Not to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
And I agree with Michelle. He is not irredeemable. I think, definitely the show paints him sympathetically. While he does have his bad qualities, I guess it just tries to have us see from his point of view, how he feels, for lack of a better term, alienated. Alienated from his family and his life, and that's he has to come to terms. That's sort of my fault. I had a plane. I could have flown and talked to people, but I didn't. Yeah. Which I think is a totally, I guess, human thing that we can all I guess sort of relate to at times, when relationships sort of lose touch. Maybe not so much on the family end for me personally, but like I said earlier, like we sort of make our own families. And, at the end of the episode, I think Andy is, a better person because now he has the Gem family.
Yeah.
And, people aren't, well, most people aren't irredeemable, I think.
Yeah, certainly the show especially would not argue that. Like, there's no way. Yeah, I think comparing this to Future Boys Ultron and what's the Frowny? What was his name?
Mr. Frowny.
Mr. Frowny, yeah.
Yeah. Comparing him to Uncle Andy. Mr. Frowny's a character that hit hard for me, and like that episode really worked, and like I felt a lot of sympathy for that random character. And as opposed to this episode,
blows my mind.
where like I didn't really care much for Uncle Andy. I think it's circumstances heavily weighing in on that. But definitely can't
considering the political climate we're in right now.
We can get to that in a second. But yeah, I just think like he's not someone who I can relate to. I don't understand that being naturally just awful to people, or not awful, just naturally like
naturally like
suspicious.
Oh my god.
I don't think he's awful. He's
naturally
just, like,
suspicious. That's that word. That's what I'm trying to get to. Whereas opposed to Mr. Frowny's just like depressed and more relatable, to be honest.
Yeah,
he's not like hurting in a way. He's just like sad.
Yeah, right. So just harder time relating to someone whose first instinct is to push back like that. It's obviously this is a real person, like that's as we saw recently, this is half of the people. So just the fact that like this is an episode. So a lot of we got a lot of last week. It's like this week this is awful and this week is terrible. But new Steven Universe next week. Like it's gonna be Great Escape and
Great Escape. Actually, smack in the face reality.
Yeah. I wasn't digging that. I mean, obviously this isn't intentional, but just confronting. This is an episode that kind of is unintentionally arguing for something akin to saying we shouldn't be protesting right now. Like, I feel like that's kind of what this message
that's
of
the
the
message
episode
you got.
is. Obviously, it's not an intentional message, but if you apply the themes of reconciliation from this episode, then that's what you could get, and that's not really a message I want to hear right now. So it's a little bit jarring for me. The show is all about reconciliation. And,
but who's reconciling? Isn't it Andy who's reconciling with the
right?
Fact that
so that would be it's better in that they're teaching him something and he's learning and stuff. But still, they want to bring him into the fold even though he's being bad to them, basically, kind of like that. It does get better. You could argue it's unrealistic more than trying to teach more than.
Oh, it's a cartoon. What is realistic?
Okay, it's a cartoon on this podcast.
It's a cartoon.
That's banned. That's the number one rule. Is okay. But
the unspoken rule. Sam, shut up.
No, that's not the rule. The rule is no, it's a cartoon. But yeah. So he comes across as hateful towards people different from him. That's what political climate has been. A lot of us and a lot of people, like, I mean, Steven Universe is one of the cornerstones of the progressive community and online in this narrow corner of us, but and this is its audience and this is like the people who make it, and I know it's this time has hit hard on everyone there and or all of us, and we're coming into from the perspective of like, I don't even know where I was going with this, but we're coming the perspective of just not being very happy with people hating us right now.
Yeah, I mean, like nobody wants to have like a redemption story about their like terrible relatives.
It's a hard episode to swallow at the moment. I don't want to be sympathetic towards the bad relatives at the moment because they're not behaving like Andy is in this episode. They're not like they're not like they're not changing or not being hateful. In fact, it's one of the worst times for this, and I guess I know that's the best explanation I can give. Like it's the reality is so contrasting from what's being portrayed in this episode. Like, this is the show. Okay, here's your tagline. This is the show with aliens and weird, crazy magic and technology. And I feel like the most unrealistic thing in this episode was the behavior of the bigoted character in it. So at a different time, this would have been a really nice, and this is an episode with a really nice moral, and it's something that's great to show everyone. Just hard to swallow right now.
We are in the darkest timeline right now, though. So
yeah, I don't know. Do you agree with any of that, Michelle?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like I have too many feelings. But like, what can I say? Okay. Well, I think
if you don't want to get into it too much, you don't have to. But just in general,
mean, it does hit hard, and it is bad timing, maybe. But I think at the end of the day, you know, like Steven Universe as a show is way more about like trying to understand different people's perspectives, even if you don't agree with them, especially if they do like morally gray things. And I feel like even though Andy's probably not going to come back anytime soon, like I feel like, you know, he's treated the same way to an extent that like Pearl and Amethyst have been when they do morally questionable things. And that's like not a bad thing. I like that the show is giving that courtesy to basically anyone, you know. I think that's I think that continues to be a good thing that people should be able to do, like even though it's really easy to just be angry and to just like look at other people and be like, well, you're awful, you're being awful right now. Being awful is like a very pointed thing to say. I don't think it really makes the situation any better. I'd like to think that just like being productive.
We don't need to get into in general. We don't need to get into that. But I agree. I do agree that the show would, would probably preach that in this situation. It doesn't have the context that we have. This episode is given without the current context. So I don't think you can blame them for giving this message. The show is this, but this is such a Steven Universe episode. I mean, everything you were saying, Michelle, I agree with in theory, but wouldn't want to practice it personally at the moment. But like,
it's very heavy.
It's hard, right? But you do appreciate the show coming from this perspective, I guess. It's a good point that the show, Peridot was an awful person once. Peridot's someone who hated those around her. Why isn't Peridot in this? What's the difference between Peridot and Uncle Andy, the original Peridot, and now Peridot's great, right? So this is a show that certainly taught us that people can be hateful towards others and just become better people. So I don't know. Maybe it is the perfect thing for the climate, but I guess that depends on your perspective.
Yeah, I feel a bit foolish now for saying that I liked him.
Why? No, I think you're supposed to like him.
I don't think Andy's a badass.
No,
I think more than that. I like
Sam, I don't think I think I'm not right. I think I'm just giving like my reaction to it. I don't.
Well, you know how like much of a pushover I am.
No. It's good. No, it's good though because the episode's like objectively the episode's trying to paint him sympathetically, and I also think the moral of the episode is no one's deserving of your scoring even if they behave badly. Like everyone love everyone and stuff, and I think that's a great thing to take away from it. And certainly I don't know.
I'm just trying to say like I'm not condoning what's happening in the world right now.
I brought it to that angle.
I know it's like hard not to like to divorce it, especially because of this episode.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to say, I'm not.
I brought it. I put it there. I understand. Yeah, Sam noted. But yeah, it's
Sam noted. Trying not to condone. Not condoning.
And certainly, if listeners, if you didn't find Andy awful, I'm not saying you're bad. This is just a very personal reaction. That's all I'm saying. That given the current context, that's how I reacted to him. Okay. That's enough for that. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of comments on that, so that's good. But we can get into
send us your hate mail ad.
Yeah. We get but there's a lot of other really small character moments to get into. I mean, there's like a million things that we could like. There's the dog who was great. There's like
man, that graphic murdering. Well, not murdering. It was already dead, but like the stabbing at the pumpkin. That was hilarious to me.
Yeah, we'd seen that a while ago, but it's good. Yeah. There's like Amethyst chasing around the dog. Pumpkin is his name apparently. Its name, Pumpkin.
Is his name Pumpkin?
Pumpkin the pumpkin.
Yeah, they call Steven calls it Pumpkin at the end, I guess. So that's my read on them saying Pumpkin. We have Peridot trying to teach Pumpkin how to say Claude at the end. We had Aunt Deb and her partner.
Partner. Oh, I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Oh.
They got
I have a lot of feelings about that.
Sam, what's your Aunt Deb fanfiction?
Yeah, what is it, Sam?
Not fanfiction, just like feelings about the word partner.
We don't need to get into the.
You know what that is, but you know what I mean.
Partner.
obviously coded in a certain way.
Yeah, and I think the show is aware of that, and they're referring to Anteb and her female partner, like, clearly.
Yeah,
so,
duh.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that cake with all the girls, like, marrying each other, and then the two guys on top? Like, there's definitely an angle going on.
They're all gonna get married, guys.
That made me so happy when Pearl said that.
Yeah, what do we think of that? Them just bringing out, like, we'll do all the holidays now. Like, first of all, we're all gonna get married, and then it's like, and then we'll get birthday, and then
we're all gonna get married, and then
here's a tombstone.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, and
we
Lapis,
try to cover all the life events.
Yeah, that was one of the more ridiculous things the show's done. I think, like, that
funny.
Sequence. It was interesting. What other standout moments are there from just not like these minor comedic moments? We can go through the outline, but so I want to talk about one thing. I want to talk about is we finally have a Steven Universe dinner table scene. One of my favorite tropes. Two of the best scenes in Legend of Korra are dinner table scenes where we get to go around. If you listen to me talking on a podcast, you've heard this before, but yeah, we go around, we check in on all our characters, they interact with each other in unusual combinations and stuff, and they say interesting things. And this Steven Universe, this is exactly what they did, but it was so weird. Their dinner scene, I'm trying to find the part in that. But yeah. So first of all, they're talking about, they're talking about something, and they start doing impressions of each other, and then they do the Thanksgiving thanking what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, essentially.
So I want to talk about the impressions part. That was what stood out to me, which was Peridot's doing a Homeworld impression, basically, like a former Peridot impression. Then Amethyst does like a Rose impression, and then Peridot does herself, and then Lapis does herself, and I don't know. I thought this was extremely weird. I thought it was good, I guess. So, Michelle, what do you think?
I liked it. I feel like they were all kind of talking about things lightheartedly that were once way heavier issues. And they're actually in I think it was Peridot who brought it up, the fact this is the first time they've all been together in one place in a long time. And it was nice seeing them kind of bond in that way, even though it was very bizarre, the entire table conversation. But I thought it was really nice. It was a nice chill moment.
Yeah. Sam, any thoughts on the dinner scene?
Yeah.
I thought
I don't know. I'm not really big on Thanksgiving, so I'm not big on dinner and family and stuff.
Thanksgiving hater.
I haven't celebrated Thanksgiving in 3 years.
Oh man.
We'll have a Thanksgiving hiatus.
We'll have an overly animated Thanksgiving. That'll be
okay.
We can watch the B movie finally. Please, Philip. Please.
When you want to shuttle me to your house, let me know.
On virtual Thanksgiving, watching the B movie.
Yes, that'll
please. I'm sure we'll be able to get everyone together for that.
Go on.
Now that you put it into the ether, I don't know. I thought that the big takeaway from this is this is a good Peridot episode. The new Peridot, the completely sweet Peridot type thing. Big Peridot.
I don't know. She did try to kill Andy, so.
But everyone's Lapis she could have killed him too.
Yeah,
Lapis could kill anyone, but that's what's great about it. But Peridot and Lapis, big Lapidot episode. They were definitely married, and they had a farm, and lesbian farmers. Yeah,
lesbian farmers.
They even have a tractor now. It's official.
Tractor, yeah.
My question is
their son, the pumpkin dog.
The pumpkin, yeah. They have a pet and a car. It's official.
That's official.
Here's the thing, right? So, they know what a vegetable is, okay? They know how to grow a vegetable because, obviously they have crops and corn and pumpkins, etc. How did they not know that they wouldn't grow sentience? I don't understand. In the research they did to get
Yeah, I guess I don't buy that Peridot wouldn't know that. Yeah, Peridot should know. I mean, Peridot of a season ago, that would make sense.
The Flanderization of Peridot.
The Peridot who would push Greg off the roof because she thought he'd fly, right? That's fine, if she wouldn't know. But I feel like Peridot might know at this point. Lapis hasn't been there this long, I guess. But, most of the things for this episode were done for comedic purposes, I guess.
I feel like if they did the research and they bought the seeds, they would have known.
Maybe they actually just saw their farmers planting stuff. They're like, oh, we should try that.
They thought
assumed that the plants would have sentience.
Yeah. They didn't see the harvested crops. Just
maybe not.
Yeah, I guess that's the logic.
Sam just trying to find logic where there is none.
Yeah, this was not a very logical episode. I would agree with that. Peridot and Pearl making the plane into an oven. I love the Peridot Pearl moments of them doing tech stuff together. That's some of my favorite stuff. We had grandma to move to the Keys, Aunt Deb. Yeah, we're learning about the Universe family. The
Mayo family.
The Mayo family, yeah.
Although they're Italian, I guess.
Steven says he likes DeMayo better.
That's a fancy kind of mayo. It's DeMayo.
Oh,
okay. Mayo.
Yeah, are they Italian, Sam? I guess that's
I guess. Dude, my last name is the number 4.
Yeah, you're the Italian last name expert, so
I mean, no, I'm not. My last name is literally the number 4. I don't have any D's in my name.
Oh, so it doesn't have de, so it doesn't account.
No, I'm guessing if if my context clues are correct, it's of. Mayo.
Last name's in the same. Of Mayo. There you go. Yeah, let's talk about this last scene with Steven flying with Lapis and trying to talk to Andy. I forgot his name already. Will we see Andy again? Yes or no?
Maybe someday.
Yeah, for like a hot second, if it's another like family-esque event.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Grandma and then Andy will come. I don't know.
I want to see Aunt Deb.
Now I see the partner of the other relative.
Aunt Deb can only be referred to in passing now, and we'll just expand the mythology.
No, we need to know. We need to see her. When are we going to see her? Maybe Aunt Deb made her way to the gem homeworld. She's like one of the.
What?
No, she's an honorary diamond. Yes,
Aunt Deb is a pink diamond.
Is Aunt Deb is pink diamond? Sam's calling it.
I hate how you say aunt. I really do.
Yeah. We're dialectal. Yeah. Okay.
Wait. You say aunt, Dylan?
I've been saying aunt this whole time. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I always say it like that. I think I might say aunt
do.
sometimes. I don't know. I've been saying it like that this podcast. That scene at the end, I thought that's definitely gorgeously animated. Showed off the classic Steven Universe background style.
Here's another thing that bothered me. Okay. His plane didn't have 2 seats. It just magically grew another seat.
Maybe we didn't. We might just never have seen the second seat.
No, it definitely didn't have 2 seats.
We'll check the tape on that one, Sam. I don't know about that. As a human too, never had a chance to know that part of my family, says Steven. I want to be your family. Yeah. Aw.
Sometimes a family can be 3 moms, 2 aunts, a dad, an uncle, and a son.
Yeah,
and their pumpkin dog.
Oh yeah, what do you think of all the gems being the gay aunts? What do you think of that?
Relatable.
Relatable to him, yeah.
Relatable to me, yeah.
Amazing.
I've missed this one. Peridot, wow, thanks for the barn, she says to continuing the wow thanks running gag,
What was the thing they did at the dinner table with the, something what? Handing over the cake and then they said something.
Oh yeah, they're just I don't want to be rude or something, or I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what they did first. They handed the cake around because they were trying. Yeah, it was weird. It's very slapsticky humor type thing. Interesting stuff.
Maybe they messed it around because it had a groom on it, and that's why none of them wanted it.
No.
Wow, hot take
right
there.
Hot take.
Yeah,
hot take.
Hashtag
hot take.
Anon on Tumblr says, the new SU episode was so cute. I think Lapis actually likes the crystal gems now, which is so great. Yeah, so where are we landing on Lapis with regards to the rest of them? She seems fully integrated. Not necessarily fully integrated.
I didn't even remember that she hated them.
Yeah.
She seemed pretty fine, honestly.
Fast. She's fine with them. Lapis is part of our main cast now. There you go. Yeah.
When are Lapis and Peridot going to be in the intro?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. We've been waiting for the intro to be redone, and we're firmly into the new season, and yet nothing, right?
I mean, we need, Lapis, we need Peridot, Aunt Deb, the rubies, pink diamonds.
Connie, bro?
Connie is already in the intro.
More prominent role? She needs to be bigger sword.
Where's Connie during this Thanksgiving?
Yeah, Connie should be Thanksgiving.
Why didn't they invite her?
They probably saw the rest of their family.
It probably isn't even actually Thanksgiving. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe that's why. What's his face?
I think he came back to the barn because he said that they always do the food thing every year. So it must have been around Thanksgiving.
Well, that's a code for Thanksgiving, not actual
Okay.
I don't know. Do you want to talk about I don't know.
No.
Aliens?
What? Aliens? What about aliens?
How illegal?
Yeah,
I mean, we got into that in the beginning a little bit. Yeah,
how jingoistic Uncle Andy is.
Yeah, alien. Literally, this episode says illegal aliens, immigrants, and refugees. So hard not to make the connections right now. Alien refugees from space. That's kind of true. That's pretty true, actually.
That is true.
Yeah. No longer.
I like how he didn't bat an eye that they were from space, though.
Yeah, no one in the show ever is freaked out by that.
Yeah, like that. That
makes freaked out that they weren't American.
Yeah.
It's just like
that was more the. I feel like that's how our country would react, to be honest.
Like, okay, from space, but you're not American.
Yep, that's what would happen. So overall, we're all thumbs up, but not 2 thumbs up on Gem Harvest.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Yeah,
one solid.
Nice. It was nice, but given the 3-month layoff or whatever, I don't know. It hasn't been that long, but yeah, it's But in 2 weeks though. 3 gems and a baby. Only 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the next one was coming. That's good to know.
3 gems and a baby. Greg
Wait,
tells
2 weeks
Steven.
Or 3 weeks?
December 1st, 2 weeks. Greg tells Steven about their first winter together. Flashback episode.
Aww. Yeah. And he's going to sing, probably.
Sometimes a family can just be 3 moms, a dad, and a baby.
We knew that we know details from this episode. I could try to pull it up. But it's like, they said this at Comic-Con. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Full coverage of that coming up. Next podcast is our feedback show. Remember, get those in. Justin at overlyanimated.com.
Your hot takes.
My recommendation is lay off the political takes. That's what I would recommend. I think we can save those for this podcast. You can unburden Justin and Michelle with the
with the political takes.
I don't know what it'd be like with Justin. Honestly, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would prefer not. So no.
I agree.
Let's keep no political takes. Just get the feedback in though. Comment on this article. You can comment and say what you thought, but I was trying to be general, but whatever. I try to avoid politics in general. Except we
all know what happened.
Except when it screams in your face like this. So friendlygeeks3.tumblr.com or leave a comment on this article and let us know your feedback from this podcast. Here's what you thought of this. Coming up, Ruby, Sunday morning, big star mid-season finale, half an hour long episode, much like this one, Monday, and then Thanksgiving, and maybe we'll do something for Thanksgiving, maybe not. May or may not have Steven Universe podcast next week. If not, then we'll be back to cover 3 gems.
What are we going to do for Thanksgiving? Oh, wasn't there like a turkey movie at some point?
Oh, no. You don't.
What was it called?
You don't need Thanksgiving, do you? Because that's awful.
No.
It's like
we could do like Chicken Run, like.
No,
that's a good movie.
No, there was a turkey movie like a year or 2 ago. What was it called? Like Wild Birds or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it, Sam.
I don't know. It was about turkeys.
Sam, I don't know.
There are not a lot of Thanksgiving movies in the world. This is very true.
There was a turkey movie, and I'm googling it. Okay. Turkey animated movie.
Isn't there a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving movie?
Oh, yes. We missed that though. We missed it. I mean, there's the pumpkin one. There's the Thanksgiving one.
No, there is the Thanksgiving one is iconic, bro.
Yeah, there's the Thanksgiving. Okay, we don't need
Freebirds. That's what it was called.
Okay,
Freebirds.
Yeah, people are gonna be clamoring for the Freebirds podcast. Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know what that is.
The Freebirds podcast.
I don't know what that is either. Anyway. overlyanimated.com. Check us out, everything about this. Consider supporting us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Shout outs to our patrons. Thank you very much to Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John Wren, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jade, John, Mission, Victoria, and Katrin, AK, Fever, Mitch, Garner, C Beach, James, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Like Your Mailman, Richard, Rose, John, Brian, Cook, Cat, Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, Fusion, Skylark, Patron, Katrin. Feedback, all those podcasts coming up. Let us know what you thought about this. Last comments on Gem Harvest.
Yep. I'm glad we're getting new episodes again.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect to see much after 3 gems and a baby, but maybe.
DeMayo,
yeah.
God.
Hashtag DeMayo. There you go.
Oh, man. Why would you do that, Dylan? Why would you plague this?
Hashtag DeMayo.
Hashtag DeMayo.
Hashtag. Do you like a Miracle Whip or a Mayo more?
Hashtag. Yeah. There you go.
That's the question. Send asks to Dylan OVA.
Yeah, with
Tumblr.com.
Or the spoiler just Mayo, if you've heard of that. Some of that too. That's a
yeah, that's a
there you go.
But it's very good. Ask to Dylan or me at stupidnervous.tumblr.com saying if you like man or miracle more.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
My God.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.